I told him maybe we should just be friends. And he took me at my word. My name is Rachel, and there isn't a day that goes by where I don't replay that moment. Those careless, impulsive words I uttered. They echo in my mind like a haunting refrain. It's incredible how a single sentence, spoken in a storm of confusion and fear, can derail an entire future. I never believed I'd end up here, alone, hollowed out, longing for what I took for granted. But here I am, surrounded by silence, forced to face the consequences of a mistake I can never undo. Started just a few weeks ago. My partner Ethan and I had been together for over 2 years. We built a life out of shared laughter, late-night talks, and plans that reached years into the future. We weren't perfect, but we had something real, or so I thought. Lately, though, something had shifted. Little things became bigger things. Tension that once passed like clouds began to settle like fog between us. We'd argue over silly matters, chores, phones at dinner, missed calls, and I kept telling myself it was just a phase. Every couple hits rough waters, right? But deep down I felt a subtle unraveling, a creeping detachment I couldn't explain. I tried to ignore it, tried to will us back to who we used to be. But something inside me grew restless, uncertain. Then came that night. The night everything collapsed. I was curled up on the couch, scrolling through social media, half distracted and fully withdrawn. In the kitchen, I could hear Ethan trying to cook, a flurry of clanking pans and the sharp clatter of frustration. He was trying to hold us together in his own way, and I was slipping further away in mine. Eventually he walked into the room. His face carried the kind of tension that only comes from swallowing one too many feelings. He sat next to me. The silence was thick, suffocating. And then softly he asked, "Rachel, what's happening to us? I feel like I'm losing you." His voice cracked something inside me. But instead of letting the pain show, I did what I always did when things got scary. I distanced myself. I tried to protect my heart by pushing his away. "I don't know," I muttered, eyes glued to my screen. Maybe we're better off as friends." I didn't mean it. Not truly. I said it to shield myself. I thought if I framed it gently, it would hurt less. I expected him to resist it. To fight for us. Tell me I was wrong. But he didn't. He just stood up and walked out of the room. No shouting. No slamming doors. Just a cold, heavy silence. I assumed he needed time. We always bounced back eventually. A few hours of distance, a late-night talk, maybe even a tearful apology. I thought we'd follow that script again. But this time was different. The next morning there was no message. No call. Nothing. I texted him. "Can we talk? I didn't mean it like that. Please." But the message sat there, unread. Another day. Then another. Still silence. And on the third day a message finally came. "Rachel, I've been thinking about what you said. Maybe you're right. Maybe being friends is what we should have been all along. I need space. I don't think we can go back." I felt the ground shift under me. My chest tightened. He wasn't coming back. Not this time. I wanted to scream. To shake him and say, "Don't you understand?" I was scared. I didn't mean it. But what good would that do? I'd spoken the words. I'd opened the exit door. And he had simply walked through it. Over the following days I tried everything. I called him over and over, left voicemails soaked with apologies, wrote long, tear-stained messages confessing how much I missed him. But he never replied. One night I saw him out at a bar with mutual friends. He was smiling, relaxed, alive in a way I hadn't seen in weeks. I forced myself to approach, heart pounding. When he saw me, his expression didn't change much. "Hey, Rachel. I'm doing well. Hope you're okay too." There was no anger. No warmth either. Just distance. That was the moment I knew. I had truly lost him. I wandered home that night alone, carrying the weight of every moment I had taken him for granted. The mornings he brought me coffee in bed. The quiet way he'd hold my hand when words failed. The way he always showed up, until I gave him permission not to. A week later, I went to his apartment to pick up the last of my things. He wasn't home. The place looked emptier than I remembered. Clean, quiet, devoid of the energy we once shared. On a shelf, I found a framed photo of us at the lake, smiling, tangled in each other's arms. I stared at it for a moment, then turned it face down. That was a month ago. Since then, I've reached out once or twice more, but he hasn't responded. I don't expect him to anymore. I don't think he will. He's gone. Not because he stopped loving me, but because I handed him the map to the exit. I told him maybe we should be friends, and he listened. I thought he'd stay. I thought love would be enough. But even love, when neglected, can quietly slip away. So if you ever find yourself in a moment of doubt, tempted to push someone away just to see if they'll pull you back, think twice. Because sometimes they don't. And sometimes, that moment becomes the last page in a story you weren't ready to end.